So Canon just told me my motherboard on my R6 Mark II is cooked. Now, that's not really a huge problem for me. I have multiple cameras. The hardest part is that the R6 Mark II was the only camera I had that tethered with Lightroom, which forced me to move to capture. So in this one, it's all about how my R6 Mark II turns into a brick and I move to capture one. Now this is what a week in the life of a freelance creative looks like, so let's jump into it.
Good morning, everyone. Let's go sunrise hunting. Good morning. Got some sunrise chasing. Okay, well we're back. This is just tea actually. I don't drink coffee, so. Anyway, let's get some editing done. But here you go. Oh, this is cool. We've got this one here on the bench.
Just getting ready for a studio shoot. So I've got someone coming in the studio. Just got to get myself all geared up. So I like to shoot on the R6 Mark II when I shoot in the studio because it tethers really well. So, you know, why fight what is working? Shoot done and dusted, so because I shoot tethered, most of the work is done. I just got to go through, make the selects, and then tidy up each sort of image individually, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'll run you through some of the images I got.
Okay. So I've got to run off a few prints. I've run out of paper on roll number 2, so I'm going to change that out. I'm going to put on a large roll because I've got to print a few things.
Alright, that'll work.
I probably need to prop it up a little more. Well, that's frustrating to this whole like piece to camera about how I'm gonna. I gotta close this. I'll keep looking at that camera. I was doing this whole piece to camera about how I was, you know, setting up the paper and doing all this, and then I went to go watch it back, and guess what? Not there. Didn't press record. The joys. So yeah, I'm not doing that again. But anyway, just imagine you watch me change the paper. I put a new roll on. Talked about how good the printer is, all that sort of stuff. And now it's not there. So anyway, so what I'm doing right now is I've got a couple of orders I need to print, and so I'm just going to set those up and then run them off, and then we'll get them shipped and all that fun stuff. Had a bit of a malfunction there, so back at it now. Anyway, all right, so I got all my prints ready to go, and then so all these are going to go on the same paper. They're going to go on platine. So all I got to do is press a print. Alrighty, I've got them up on the table. Yeah, now I've just got to cut them up. Alright, I was putting that piece together and I realised it's missing a little bit of context. So the reason I didn't have any footage while I was printing is because my camera broke. I was shooting on the R6 Mark II and I got an error 70 error, which I've said error twice, but whatever. Yeah, and I did a bunch of troubleshooting to try and solve that problem, but to no avail. I have since sent it to Canon, and Canon have come back saying the motherboard is cooked. So that looks like a dead camera to me. But anyway, we'll see what Canon come back and say. But they'll be very prompt with their response. hats off to them. Just out for a bit of vitamin D. All woken up a bit sick today, so I was going to get up early and then wasn't to be. It was so cold. I don't know where you are in the world, but here currently it is the middle of winter. So I mean, I'm in a shirt because it's the middle of the day and it's, you know, warmed up. That's why I'm out. But this morning, man alive, just going to go get some shots. So I'm just going to go into like a little bit of a nook that I like to shoot from. So yesterday I was getting those prints ready, and I was doing some like behind the scenes, and then I kept thinking I'd like not press record on the camera. Well, the R6 Mark II was my daily right up until I got the R6 Mark III, which I'm now filming on. It was my go-to for everything. So it has worked hard its whole life. It's come in as a cam, and I've run it hard, but it kept getting an error 70 message. I tried a few different things, you know, tried to troubleshoot it, no good. Got a hold of Canon, and they said, "Hey, send it in. We'll take a look at it." It's like a memory card issue or something like that, and so I'd say it's just needs like a format, you know, like not like an SD format, more like a hard reset, like it's been playing up a bit lately actually with tethering. I've been struggling tethering it with Lightroom. I've actually just moved to Capture for all my tether work, purely because can't like just all Lightroom and tethering. I only had one camera that tethered, which was the R6 Mark II, and now it is cooked until it comes back. So you kind of know what you want to do to each image. So like as you edit, you kind of go through your process, you know, like you fix your exposure, like you even out your exposure, then your shadows, highlights, all that. You do that first, set your white balance, and then you move into all your all other colors and all that sort of stuff. So I mean, all those sliders and whatnot are in different locations, which is a little bit hard to get used to, but all in all, it's the same app. Like it shoots photos and edits them and exports them. It's just understanding that flow and how that platform likes to do it. And I spent a bit of time yesterday trying to familiarize myself before I actually had a job that I need to put through it. So this week I have another studio shoot. I actually have a couple of studio shoots this week, and so I need to have a solution sorted out. Anyway, but I digress. Found the ultimate location to fly from. Look at this outlook. It's about as good as it gets. And so anyhow, let's get the bird up and get him flying. Adventure and a bit of a sit in the sun, throwing the bird around. But actually, I've got to head over to Terrigal. So maybe we get some shots of Terrigal. That'll be good. Short, I actually had a client ring me and ask if I could go over and shoot something real quick. I just need like 1 or 2 shots or something. So I'm gonna go over and do that. Yeah, so a friend of mine who is, they're an agent, they rang me and said, "Hey, I need some shots of this, do you have anything?" And I said, "Nah, but I'm around the corner enjoying the sun, so I can come shoot that for you." And here I am. So I'll put the bird up, get a couple of shots. Studio day today. Oh, hang on. That's better. Oh, hang on. Studio day today. So yeah, just gonna get set up. Had a bit of a camera issue, so I'm in a bit of an interim at the moment where I'm shooting not exactly how I'd like to, but anyway, gotta make things work. that is job done. So I just got to edit those and deliver them. So I'm just in the culling phase, and I'm actually just using Capture One for the first time. I mean, I've dabbled with it before, but never actually used it on an actual job. So it performed really well. I did spend a bit of time before the job getting like familiar. So because it was studio, once I'd sort of locked in the look that I wanted, and then I kind of just set that, and then so pretty much as you shoot it, it just comes in and it is just the treatments built in. So took a little moment to get it how I wanted, and then once I got it there, pretty without a hitch. For me personally, I had no problems with Lightroom. It worked great for everything that I needed it for, and then the moment it didn't, I was forced to move to, a different platform. This could be it. I could now stay at Capture forever and never go back to Lightroom, purely because Lightroom didn't get... Like, Lightroom are just behind it a bit more, I think. Like, Adobe just don't seem to... I guess they have a lot of apps that they've got to manage, and tethering in Lightroom is such a small part of, what that app does. But for me, that's actually a big part of what I use it for. And so, if there's a better app that, does what I need to, then I would be doing myself an injustice not to use that platform. It's just annoying because I have the full Creative Cloud, so I have it all, which means Lightroom's built into that and I pay for it, which just means now I'm paying for two photo editing applications. So maybe this is a good opportunity to actually do a Capture One tutorial coming from a photographer who has never used it before but has done extensive photo editing. It's just nice because the longer you use these sort of applications, the more you build out your own like presets. I don't like using the word preset because it has like a connotation as in, it's just like a slap it on and it's done. But like all the treatments, I like to use the word treatments because it's a treatment on the image. All the treatments that I use I've actually built them. So I have modified them from an edit that I've done and then, brought it in onto a new project and then modified it. And then, so like in my Lightroom, I had all these presets. So like I have, full sun top down. So when I shoot a full sun top down with my drone, I use that preset, and I know that I like the color palette because essentially it's gonna kind of always look similar. So that'll be my starting point, and then I move from there. And so then, I have like sunrise, sunset, and I sort of build out all these treatments, which now I don't have in Capture because they're all in Lightroom and you can't move them across. And I can copy them, like, slide for slide. But that's actually not how I got there in the first place. In the first place, I got there by editing an image that I liked. And then instead of having to do that over and over, I create that template, that preset, that treatment to be able to go back and get that similar look straight away without having to go through all the sliders. And so that's one of the things that's actually hindered me a bit with using Capture. It's not so much the application, it's more the fact that I've spent years building treatments that I enjoy for my work to make that an easier workflow. And so it ends up being workflow. It's not that Capture's harder or better or worse, and not that Lightroom's better or worse, even though potentially it could be worse because it's not doing what I need and Capture just went off without a hiccup. But it's just that whole, whatever works for you, why change it until you need to? And then that's where I'm at. I need to change it, so I am. And then once you make that change, you may never change back. And so I think that just goes, like, you can live that with all business, right? Like, so you've got a customer and they're your customer, but the day you don't do the thing that they need, there's potential for them to go find that somewhere else, and then they may never come back. And then you can't live in that fear, but that's the realistic expectation. You do your best as you can, and then everything else is out of your hands. So, I mean, that's a side note. I don't know where that came from, but just working through these images, because if I can get them out of the chain, then they're done. I can just move on with my day. So just going to run through them, select them, and give it a little bit of a zhuzh, a bit of a touch up, and then I'll send them off to the client, and that'll be that. We'll move on to our next adventure. So the sun is shining, and I had to come into the studio because I left my camera on the table. But look at this bad boy. I've got this guy who was on the bench the other day. It's actually been framed. Looks fantastic. I got to get that all boxed up and shipped off. So reminded me I got to do that. But anyway, I'm going to go chase the sunset. So I don't know where I'm going to go, but doesn't matter. Oh, there we go. Can't forget the thing I was going for. Nothing like a Friday arvo. You know, quick fly here, sunset over this lake, and that'll be my week. So, oh no, I lost me thing. Oh, got it. So on these controllers, you got to screw on the handles all the time, and the thread goes on it. So I think this one, the thread's cooked. Huh, all right. What a week. So today was mostly just meetings, so nothing too exciting to put on camera, but yeah, I've snuck away the Savo. I'll just enjoy this sunset. I'm just waiting for it to get good, so I'll get the bird up and I'll get some shots and run you through what we get.
Well, there you have it. That is another week in the life of a creative. If you've made it this far, I suggest you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.